Hello friends and welcome to Unbridled That Horse Game. Now I know what you're thinking, Abby, you've done like 3 videos on this game, surely at this point it can't be classed as a new horse game, and while technically you are correct, this is the official early access release. All the other versions were like alpha and beta, so they were like just testing out features. None of them were definitely going to be in the release, whereas early access is more solid for what the game is going to look like on release. Now I made my first video on this game back in 2022 and I was very bold and I said this could be the best game of 2022, or the best horse game, sorry. Well, I still stand by that because at the time there was a deficit in horse games. I'll be interested to see how this game holds up in 2025 now that we have a lot more options for horse games. This game has been worked on for a good few years now, so hopefully we've seen some leaps and bounds in features and in gameplay, and I'm very excited to get started. But before we do, this video is sponsored by pinehavenponies.co.uk. That is my toy shop brand. We sell model horses. If you're into Breyer horses, we have a huge selection of those, collector's items, regular runs, all of that stuff. Or if you're more into Schleich, feel free, we have a massive range of Schleich to choose from, and we do actually ship internationally, so feel free to have a browse. That's pinehavenponies.co.uk. So let's just jump straight into it. So let's click create game. Now I haven't seen anything on this game at all. I've not seen anybody's videos. I've not really been keeping up with the updates of this, but here we are in the player creator. I think that the character creation in this game is a little bit too intense for me. Like, you know, there are huge sliders here, you know, eye size, depth of the eyes, height, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like, I'm not huge into character creation. I kind of just like to have pretty characters that I can play as. So as cool as it is to see creation features like this, personally when I look at this, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. Feel free to tell me what your thoughts are in the comments. Are you like big into character creation? Is this, when you look at something like this, are you like, ooh, that's perfect for me? Or do you kind of look at this and go like, oh wow, that's a bit too much information? One thing I did want to have a look at is this game does have body presets. So we have a female or a feminine body, we have a masculine body, and then we have like a non-binary body as well, which is cool. The only thing is, even just scrolling through it now, if you notice the hand and the lower arm size don't change. So when you are on, say, the smaller bodies, the arms and the hands just look ginormous. I do kind of wish that those would scale a little bit because it looks a bit ridiculous. Although you can see there is a difference. Actually, there isn't in the hands. The hands stay exactly the same. That's a bit disappointing. I would have liked to see that scale to be proportional with the body size, but that's fine. Again, I'm not going to spend too long on the character creation because it doesn't really interest me. You also get like face presets as well. While I don't have any problem with face presets, I think it's a good opportunity for people to skip too much customization. I would say I would like to see somewhat of like a preview. Having A, B, C, and D means I have to click through each one and remember what they look like. If I could just see like a little preset or like a side profile shot or something, that would be quite nice, but that's fine. One thing that this game was very, very big on adding is vitiligo. I hope I said that correctly. So that's really interesting. I've not seen a game do that before in their customer creation. I mean, horse game. When I'm talking about general games, I'm talking about horse games. I know that there's huge amounts of customization in other games. Personally, I won't be playing with that. I'm a very pale gal, so I will be going quite pale today. As I said before, I'm not going to mess with these sliders like too much. I mean, look, there's like nose, mouth. Oh wow, there's so much more than I thought there was. I won't be touching any of that because I think that that would just take too long. As for the hair, you don't have a huge range of options. I think that's one thing that I personally would like to see more of, is more hair options. It's nice to see more curly type hair. There isn't a huge like selection, as I said before, so I'm just going to go with like this, I guess, and I'm gonna go the classic blonde, although I know I'm not technically blonde. One thing is, I remember this game had like not natural looking blondes, which is fine, but I do feel like there's so much shininess on the hair that it's kind of like, the darker colors definitely look better than the lighter colors. Like this is so shiny and you can really see that in the lighter colors, but that's neither here nor there. You can even change the eyebrows and the eyebrow color if you wish. You can add makeup. I'm not gonna touch any of that. Oh, you can also add nails. I mean, I do have Goliath hands, so I bet nails would look quite good on them, but I think that that will pretty much be it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and click apply. New quest, welcome to Unbridled That Horse Game. Now you might be wondering why it's called That Horse Game. That was originally what the name of the game was, and then they changed it to Unbridled. Oh, okay, there's reading. Oh, after years of hard work and dedication, you finally achieved your dream, owning your very own property. This is the moment you've been waiting for, where you can create the ultimate equestrian paradise filled with everything you need for your beloved horses. So saddle up and let the unbridled adventure begin. Your journey starts here. Cool little cinematic at the beginning. That's quite nice. Okay. Your first steps. Oh, I can see there's a bit of clipping for whatever text that is. Okay, so it's overlaid on the interface text. That's fine. In the top left corner, you'll find the interactive menu. From there, you can switch to multiplayer. This is just my personal opinion. I don't tend to play multiplayer on these games. Like, even on like a stride, I don't tend to play multiplayer. So me personally, I don't see myself using the multiplayer mode, but I know for some people that can be quite nice. Let me know what you think. Do you see yourself playing this game with friends? On the right hand side, you can see your current quests or jobs between the quest button and the pin. Okay, so there's quests. At the bottom is the quick bar, so that's like the inventory. Okay, cool. Thank you for the quick tutorial. So we do have quite an unnatural stance. I think I might have mentioned this in like previous videos. It doesn't really look like they've kind of done much with it. Like, to stand sort of with your arms like out to the side, it's very like, especially with the hands like turned in like that, it's very NPC like. This is the problem, is you guys might be thinking like, Abby, you're being like, you're scrutinizing everything. The game looks gorgeous and you're just nitpicking. The problem is when you have a game that looks this good in terms of the graphic style, if you're going with realism, you unfortunately have to make sure everything looks realistic. You can't have realistic grass and realistic shadows like we're seeing now and lighting, and then have a character that definitely looks like a video game character. You kind of have to sort of meet in between, either start lowering the scaling of your realistic graphics, or really putting in the time and effort to give like all of the characters and everything else a realistic look as well. So we got first steps, we got a couple tutorial things. So we've got to open the quest interface by pressing L. Okay. Track and untrack quest. Okay, I would say I'm not a huge fan of this style of UI. I think it's quite dark. I would have liked to see like an overlaid UI like within the game to feel a little bit more immersed. Like that, opening that quest log made me feel like I entered a menu rather than it being like a pop-up where I can read things from. That, again, I am nitpicking, I know that, but there we go. We have completed our first quest. Visit the stable. Here you'll keep and care for your horses, explore the stores, and check out the feeding and grooming station. Okay, this is where I'm gonna start to get mean. This is where I'm gonna be very critical, because so many horse games are like, oh, brush and care and feed for your horse, and it's like the most boring gameplay I've ever experienced in my life. So hopefully they've done something interesting with this. The running animation is a little bit scary. Like we look like we're about to run track and field. We look a little bit like we're trying to beat Usain Bolt, which is fine. How do I open things though? Okay, so you gotta stand right up against the door, right? Okay, that's very strange. It's almost like the light's automatic. Is that what I'm seeing? That's very strange. The reason I'm gonna bring this up is because I specifically watched my old videos on this game to be able to like compare it. Is in like the very first iteration, they had a light switch that when you flicked it, the lights took some time to turn on, and they were these like warm lights. That felt very strange. That felt like stepping into like an unloaded part of the map, and then it loads in around you. It's just, it's a bit strange that they've chosen to do that. Hold on. Visit the riding arena. Oh, so we're not actually doing any quests at the minute. We're just running around and exploring. Personally, I would like a little bit more structure to these quests in terms of giving me like a timeline to be like, right, go get your horse, you know, meet your horse, buy a horse or whatever it is, and then start exploring, because at this point I'm just sort of running aimlessly. Yeah, the indoor arena also has that, where if you stand far enough away, it's almost like it unloads the lights, and then when you come in, it loads them, which is a bit unusual, but that's fine. Visit the outdoor arena. Okay, so where is the outdoor arena? So far I like the quest markers on the map. They're not too intrusive. You do take a second to kind of find them, but that's something that is like a pet peeve of mine, when you have quest markers that are like in the corner of your screen and are like constantly flashing, telling you where to go. I appreciate more subtle cues, you know? Right, okay, check the board next to the outside arena and learn how to load and set up custom riding courses. But like at this point, I don't care, because I don't have a horse, so I can do nothing with this. I would prefer if it was like, right, we're gonna jump jump straight in with horses, and then as you're going around, then you can learn how things work rather than teaching me how it works first. Right, okay, the resolution on this is so small. Here you can load built courses. Oh yeah, that was something that is an interesting feature of this game, is you can apparently build custom horses, so you can like put down jumps in whatever order you want, in whichever place you want, save it, and then you can run the course once you have a horse. Head to the round pen. This is a smaller training area and it's perfect for lunging exercises and groundwork. All right. See, like, I feel like the running speed is not accurate to, like, how aggressively she's running. Like, I feel quite slow. Okay, here we go. So this is the round pen. Where's the entrance to the round pen? Oh, here's the gate. Okay, hold on. Is this a gate? Oh, it is a gate. Okay, you have to stand like really, really close to an object to interact with it. Check out the pasture. See, again, it's just, at this point, it's just me running around the map, just seeing where things are. That could have been done in a slightly less clunky way. And I'm just going to throw this in there as well. Finding the gates for things is a little bit of a headache because... Oh, here we go. I should really be following the paths, but, like, this doesn't really look like a gate. So, like, it just looks... Like, there's no latch on it. It's just 2 pieces of wood. Doesn't even look like there's, like, hinges on it. Oh, there is hinges on the other side, but there's no latch. Okay, let's open the gate. Lastly, enter your house. Alrighty, we seem... Oh, find the dresser inside your house to see where you can store and organize items. I think this is very similar to the quest line that I did in the last Unbridled video, and it's just like, can I just jump into, like, actually... Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who, like, speeds through tutorials because, like, I need that instant hit of dopamine. But, like, this is just like, okay, now go over here, and now walk over here, and then open this. And it's just like, there's no, like, this isn't interesting. This isn't particularly fun. I assume I need these, because I remember that from the last time I did these. Collect some nearby alfalfa flowers. Okay, I see what they're teaching me there. Oh, you can collect things, but, like... Damn, you could have done it in a slightly more interesting way. All right, it looks like we're finally going to get to go to the horse market. But here we go. Your first horse. You've arrived at the horse market. Take a look around the market stalls at the horse market. Browse for essential equipment and supplies to prepare for owning your first horse. Okay, so I assume I'm supposed to talk to this guy. Hello, you look like you sell... dandy brushes and saddles. Let me see what I can get from you. Florian Himmel. I see you're in the market for some quality gear. You're in the right place. Let's trade. Okay. NPC also sells items. That's pretty standard. Right. Okay. Well, it doesn't really tell me what I was supposed to buy. So browse a selection of horses. Right. Okay. So we do actually have to pick a horse. Ah, this is exciting. Okay, this is the bit I like. Let's see. So we've got, first off, we've got this, I would say this is a bay. We've got this gorgeous bay. Pick one that's right for you. Confirm the choice. It doesn't really tell me how to, okay, you have to, like, literally be, like, on top of the horse. Do we E to approach? It's not going to make me buy it immediately, is it? Okay, so it gives you a lot of information. Probably a little bit too much information. Okay, so this is Gwendolyn. So I think I'm not gonna look too much at, like, the breeds or the stats. I'm just gonna pick one that I like the look of. So we've got this gorgeous grey horse, or I can start a fight in the comments and say, oh, it's a white horse. Guys, look at this white horse. You see? Because it's white on the horse. Yeah. Fight me in the comments. We also have this, like, sort of darker bay horse with a big blaze. That's very cute. Standard chestnut. Ooh, I do like a standard chestnut. This Palomino, they've kept this color, and I always think it looks so off to me. I don't know why. It looks too plastic and, like, yellowy, kind of golden. I know that's what a Palomino is, but, like, I'm a Palomino gal through and through, hence the look of Sporkle. But, like, I look at this horse and I'm like, no, I can't bring myself to pick you. Ooh, this black one looks very cool, though. I'm a sucker for black horses. I think it's the black stallion has just swayed me. Ooh, see, is that the same type of Palomino? It's not. I think this is not the same Palomino, because this one looks better to me. I don't exactly know why, but it does. Wait, can I not pick these horses? Oh, no, I can. I think there's a gate over here. Let me in. Let me in. Wait, can I actually not pick these horses? Wait, I wanted, like, the, I want to say Nabstrapper, but, like, I forgot. Appaloosa. I wanted the Appaloosa. Let me in. I also really like the Dapple Grey. Can I really not? buy these horses? Why put them here if I can't buy them then? Also, what's this random cafe doing? Oh, okay. Sometimes I feel like the world building is a little bit odd. Like, we've got like a horse market, then we have like a play area, and then there's just like a random like brick cafe. I don't know, it feels a little bit disjointed. Okay, so I guess the only ones I can pick are from these. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just go with Gwendolyn. I remember you, Gwendolyn. Oh, it says you can buy with these gold coins or these bucks. I don't know which one I should be buying with. I don't know what the premium currency is, so I'm just gonna buy, I guess. You want to buy this horse? Again, that was not explained to me what the different currencies are, so I could have just spent premium money, and I don't know. Go to your horse's stall, open the box, and pet your horse to build bond. Oh, I hope that there's actual gameplay here and not just me pressing E to interact to bond with my horse. Let's see. I'm about to get so snarky. So snarky. Hello, Gwendolyn. Oh, I love that. Little detail I like. The horse came up to the stall when I came in. See? Sometimes the little details do impress me. But let's actually see what gameplay element we've got here. So let's open the stall door. Cute. She steps back from the stall so I can open it. I like that. Hello, honey. Hello, honey pie. Okay, so I've got to get, like, up here. So R to pat. Okay. I mean, this animation is quite nice. I think this game will definitely be, like, big either with the roleplay community or, like, the picture-taking community because it is quite pretty. As for, like, actually having, like, players be committed to playing this game, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen much gameplay yet. But again, it's kind of early for me to judge. Put a halter on your horse to prepare. Right, okay. So, remember you can also do this through the horse manager by pressing H. Right, I'm in the horse manager. Okay, equipment. Let's drag this halter across to here. Now, in the old game, you used to be able to carry saddles, and I want to see if you can do that still. So, lead your horse into the grooming station. Alrighty. Let's lead horse. Here we go. Hi, pretty baby. Oh, this girlie is cute, though. She is very cute, right? Where is the grooming station? I have to say, though, I'm not a big fan of the textures in this stable. Like, the white walls are quite jarring. It doesn't blend very well with the wood. The design could definitely have been a little bit better on that. So I have two spaces I could choose. I'm going to choose this one, I think. How do I E to hitch? Okay, right. Your horse could use some care. Gently brush its coat. I swear, if this is just an R to interact, I'm gonna go crazy. Can I select things in my hotbar? I did something to the brush, but I don't know what I did. Oh, I'm feeding the horse. Oopsies. I don't think I was supposed to do that. But hey, I got XP and bonding. See, my instinct is to go up to this brush and pick it up. That's one thing that is intuitive, but it's not actually something you could do. But how do I H? How do I equip this? Okay, so there's obviously an ability tree. I found this by basically looking for how to brush my horse. But it does look like you can level up your horse, which is interesting. It kind of has like a skill tree sort of thing, but it's a lot more like linear path-wise. Oh, Gwendolyn! I'm so sorry. I feel like I've been calling this horse the wrong name this entire time. I'm so sorry. Gwendolyn. Lovely to have you in my stable. You're you're very mixed. You're a very mixed breed. You're very cute, though. How do I brush you? Hold on. Grooming. Oh, yeah, it's in my hand. Okay. It would have been a little bit nice for it to explain it to me, but it does look like I've got it in my hand, which is a nice little detail there. Let's E to brush. Yeah, I mean, it's a cute animation. It's quite slow. I can imagine if you've got to do that too often, it will get a little bit annoying. Gently brush its coat, so you got to brush it again. Okay. See, like, I feel like you could have done a little bit more here. The moment has arrived. Experience the thrill of sitting on your horse for the first time. Oh, is it just going to tell me to just sit on the horse? I'm going to lose my mind if it does. How do I switch this back out? Because I'm just holding food now. How do I not hold anything? How is the tutorial this bland and also not teach me what I need to know? All right, okay. Here we go. So can you just mount? Oh, gosh, why? Why? Oh, I had such high hopes. I'm sorry, I think that's just such a big no-no. You shouldn't just mount up in the stable or in the grooming area, especially when we have no tack on it. All it's got is a halter on, and this is such a common mistake. My horse-bonded spirits did it. I hated it when they did it. I kind of hoped there would be a little bit more tact in this game, but That's all right. We'll move on. In the bottom left corner, you'll find your riding indicator, speed, okay. Right, okay, left shift, spur the horse, left control, calm the horse. W and S, adjust the current speed, A and D, so just normal controls then. That is a bit of a shame. I kind of wish if they make me take the time to like brush my horse manually, I would have liked to have seen, if you're gonna go realism, go realism. Like, go and make sure that things are correct. No horse person is just jumping on the horse that they just bought in the stable in the grooming area. That's just not what... Okay, I'm going to move on, otherwise I'll get annoyed. Okay, so we are in the walk. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have seen more intuitive... okay, intuitive is the wrong word. More innovative control designs like we saw in Tales of Rain Ravine. That was a very complex game, but unfortunately it looks like it's just shift to increase speed and control to decrease speed. I mean, it tells you the striding, as you can see the orange flashing is telling you the striding, but apart from that, it's just click up and down and then turn left and right. Let's have a quick look at these animations, shall we? So we've got a nice long strip here to do my trot up, if you will. So let's have a look at the walking animation. I think that's quite nice. Straight off the bat, I don't have any huge things that I would be like, oh, I can see that that's wrong. I think it's quite fluid. It's nice. One thing, I don't like the way that the hair sits on these models, especially the tail. That tail is moving way too much. You can see the join points on it, which is quite upsetting, I would say, because I definitely feel like they could have done a better job with that. The hair motion is nice, but you can literally see the sections that it's been chopped up into, if you will, and you can see the animation points of it, which is a bit of a shame. So let's go into a trot. The trot is nice. It is a little bit stiff. I would say in the back legs it's a little bit stiff. I would say this is definitely one of the better trots that you can get in some horse games. Trot is sometimes where they start to fall down, but in my opinion, the harder gaits to get is definitely the 3-beat and the 4-beat gaits, which we'll see in a second. So let's go up to a canter. Right, this is where we kind of start to see a bit of an issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's a right lead canter. It's a little bit hard to see. The horse, I mean, that tail is just, I mean, ridiculous. Like, that just looks terrible. Like, is this a dog or is this a horse? It feels definitely a lot more rigid. It feels like it doesn't have that fluidity to it that we saw in some of the previous gaits, which is a shame. And I reckon gallop's also the same. The mane is not going very well. The stride seems super short on the gallop. Oh, I say super short. They seem a little bit too short for the speed, which is a shame. The horse also on turning, you don't see, I mean, you see, do you see a lean? I don't even know. It feels really unnatural to go around a corner at a gallop because you get this sort of like sliding effect, which is a bit of a shame to see. But yeah, it is what it is. Can we get any... Okay, so this is the extended gallop. So this is the much faster version. You can kind of see the chest is sort of struggling to keep up. It just feels a little bit unnatural, and you can see the animation points, and you still might be saying, Abby, it's still a really good animation for an indie dev team. Yes, you are correct. That is why I don't recommend indie teams go for realism, okay? Because if you present to me a realistic looking game with gorgeous trees and gorgeous, you know, even though they're part of a Nastic pack, I'm pretty sure, you know, gorgeous lighting, when I'm looking at your horse, I'm going to be looking at it from a realistic perspective. If you have a more stylized game, like Tales of Rain Ravine, even though the animations on that is, you know, debatable sometimes, or Ranch of Rivershine is another good example. If you go for stylized, I can't nitpick as much because it's stylized. If you go realism, I'm gonna put you up to looking like real life, hence the term realism. So, am I super impressed? Not really. It's a lot better than the animations were in the alpha and beta stages of this game, but it's still not quite up there. Now, something that I've immediately noticed is I suddenly have no track quests. So I suppose I'll have to be looking that up. Here we go, quest log. Okay, I have no quests. All right, so is that actually all the quests? Are you serious? No, that can't be serious. That was not good. Oh, please don't release your games in early access without any actual gameplay. Wow, if that is it, that is very disappointing. And you know what? Even if I am wrong and there is more quests that I'm currently missing, Why am I sat here going, what do I do next? That is not good game design. That is bad game flow. That means I have exhausted the tutorial and now you've just dropped me into the world with no further interaction. Now I am seeing a bow icon in the bottom, and I would quite like to access that, but I don't know how. You need to teach people how to control your game. It's more important to teach people how to control your game than to show them where the indoor riding arena is. Please prioritize teaching people. Tales from Ravine got it right when they put you in a lesson and they had the instructor talking you through what you needed to do. I want to see that more in games. Yes, is it kind of boring? Yes, especially if you've got boring controls, but that's just what it needs to be. Don't just load me into the world and then just expect me to get on with it, because I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I mean, I assume, can I go up here? E to travel. So there's... Okay, the following quest must be completed first. Visit Clarissa Falkenberg's riding school. So there is more quests. I just don't know where to get them from. Is there any mail? Okay, there's more in my mailbox. Why wasn't there an icon telling me I had mail? Okay, that's fine. Right, okay, Falcon Riding School. Let's go. Join riding lesson. Okay, that's literally what I was just talking about as well. Glad to see they actually do have riding lesson. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, hello, person. Clarissa Falkenberg. Okay, let's go to the board. Gwendolyn, session 1, start. Oh, no, 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 no. I can already see this isn't a lesson. This is an obstacle course, okay? Don't throw me in with an obstacle course for my first lesson, okay? I understand some games take it from the perspective of your character has never ridden before and you get up and start galloping and doing competition. Don't do that. That's bad. I understand here that we assumably already know how to ride. I don't know how to ride in your game, okay? You need to teach me how to ride in your game, okay? So you start off with a lesson of like, right, we're going to do walk, trot, canter. I'm going to show you how to access your inventory or change, you know, stuff from your hotbar while you're on the horse and yada yada. Don't just stick me on an obstacle course, okay? This is not, I was hoping we were kind of past this. Right, and I don't even know what speed I'm supposed to be going at. Oh, you're kidding. They just stick you straight in. Also, I hate the floor texture that they've gone with. The jump feels really smooth. I will say that on a positive note. I can be positive about this game, I promise. Feels like quite responsive, which I like. I haven't seen, obviously that was a very short course. I didn't really see how the striding works in with it. I can see 0 out of 4 strides. Overcome an obstacle with a stride. Okay, well, again, you didn't teach me how to do that. I assume I could just leave. Participate in 3 riding lessons. Oh, Lord, this is not a riding lesson. This is an obstacle course. A riding lesson would be where I'm taught something. That did not teach me anything. You just shoved me in an arena with some jumps, and now I'm gonna have to do it 3 times because you couldn't think of better gameplay. Okay, look, I just want to say this right now. I am not attacking the devs. This is not a personal attack on the devs. I am allowed to criticize the game without criticizing the devs. I want to make that very, very clear. However, that being said, I did expect more from this. This game has been in development for a very, very long time. Unbridled got very, very popular at, you know, in 2021, 2022, because it was one of the few horse games that was new horse game era, trying to essentially give players another option of a horse game other than like Star Stable and bootleggerlish online. You had a lot of time to do a lot of game research. I get that you were working heavily on visuals, but like this is game design is subpar, and if I had paid for this game, I would not be very happy. You might be thinking, Abby, how did you get the key if you didn't pay for it? I supported them on Patreon. I gave them over 50 euros, which earned me a free key. So technically I paid twice over for the game, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm just going to skip through these because I'm going to assume they're just the same thing over and over again, because I don't even know like what speed. Okay, so I've got a refusal, but I don't understand why I got a refusal. So you're not teaching me. You're just throwing me in here and expecting me to know what I'm doing, but I don't because you didn't teach me. Anyway, I'll skip through this. Otherwise, you're just going to hear me complain for the next 5 minutes. Choose a job from the board and accept it to start helping out. If this is running around interacting with things, I'm going to lose my marbles. Pin, scoop manure. Oh my god, complete 3 jobs from the job board. Wait, I have my... okay, this is... story-wise not even making sense. I have my own ranch. I'm not a student at this barn. Why am I doing jobs for them? Make it make sense. If this is where you started and it was like, hey, you need to work yourself up into buying your first barn, and here's how you do it. You do the jobs around the farm. Fine. But this doesn't make sense. I literally just bought my property, and instead I'm here mucking out stables for someone else. You also didn't explain to me how to muck out. Oh, I can't stand bad game design. It grinds my gears. It grinds my gears. Did nobody QA test this? Why did no one QA test this? Okay, so there's a manure scoop here that I was apparently just supposed to find. Good thing I went looking for it, but there was no hint in the quest line to say, oh, you need to go pick up the manure scoop and then start scooping manure, unless there was, and I missed it. I don't think I did, though. Ah, yes. No, this is good gameplay. Thank you. I like just pressing E on things. That's how I know I'm enjoying myself, is how worn down my E button can get. I'm being so mean. I know I am. But like, there was just, I think I just came off watching the 2022 video I made, and I was so positive and so hopeful. They had some really interesting mechanics in that alpha version or beta version, I can't remember. But to then like have it basically 3 years later to just be yet another like press E simulator. Like, how is this interesting? How is this engaging me? Yes, I know some people like simulators, and I understand this might be interesting for some people, but you're already in a niche. You're already in not only a gaming niche, but in like a niche within a niche. This is horse games, okay? So then you're cutting out a huge number of people who actually want to enjoy good gameplay and interesting gameplay. The people who just enjoy pure simulators are going to be such a tiny fraction of the gamers. And how do I know that I'm done? Is it not going to tell me if I'm done? Sorry, I got distracted there during my rant. So you're essentially limiting your audience to such a small number of people that, I don't know, you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. And I don't know why games do this, because you had so much time, you had so much support from your community, and it's not even like, oh, but there was no games to give examples of. If you play horse games, you will pick up on mechanics that are good. You can also pick up on mechanics that don't work quite so well. If game devs took the time to do the research, then games like this wouldn't come out with me ranting here. And you know what? I'm going to use that as a self-plug. I work as a game consultant. So if you're creating a horse game, specifically, I work with horse games, and you want to create a game that fits your market, that has a decent scope of audience and has a good direction, please feel free to contact me. I have a contact on abigailpinehaven.com, because I can help you out with avoiding mistakes like this before it's too late. Please don't hire me in the end stages. You can hire me before that, and I will help you sculpt a game that you will enjoy, that your fans will enjoy, and that ultimately won't have YouTubers like me growling and grumping over game design. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad they still have that. Again, I can't say something positive without immediately saying something negative. There is major clipping in this that definitely could have been done a lot better. Generally, you don't hold saddles like this. Saddles are very heavy. Normally, you hold saddles like after the crook of your elbow, because that is where you can support it the most, and you can essentially like slide both hands under and hold the saddle like this. Or if you're very strong, I guess you can carry it like this when you're throwing it over the horse. But I know they're just working with what they have. On the positive side, I am glad that you can carry the saddle. It's just, you know, if you're gonna have little details and little polish and you're gonna go for a realistic game, I'm going to hold you to real life standards. I'm sorry. So I'm also riding this horse. So not only am I doing stable chores, but I'm also working as a trainer, because I've got to do jumps. So the jump set up in here, I assume so. Okay. Also, one thing I did figure out about the striding is it's not required, but you get like bonus points for hitting it on the stride. Normally I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But the problem is you can't actually... Oh, I lie. You can adjust the striding. Okay, again, they didn't teach me that. I literally just found that out. On the circle, I know it's a bit of a mess UI-wise because it doesn't really tell you what anything is. But the dark blue bar, if you tap W, I'm pretty sure you shorten the stride. And then if you hold W, you lengthen the stride. Would have been nice to know beforehand, but that's cool. See, the sound design in this game is really nice. And I'm listening to the music and I'm like... It has really nice sound effects. Like, I just clipped the pole there. There's some nice music. I just did it again. And it feels quite relaxing. But the problem is you can't just have, like, a relaxing game that doesn't have, like, clear objectives. Because, like, I'm doing this for why? I don't know why. Am I getting paid? I assume so. But it's like, why do I care about being paid? I was not given, like, an overall objective. I think that's a lot of things, like, that's something a lot of horse games are missing, is an overall objective. Usually it's given the tacky, like, oh, we want to win all competitions and we want to, you know, be the best. And even though I don't like that as an overall goal, you still need an overall goal. At this point, I'm just riding around doing things because it's telling me to do them. And so, like, I'm not enjoying it because I'm waiting for the game to start. I feel like I'm still in the tutorial phase. You need to have a clear, like, goal to have. I don't even know if this horse, am I supposed to, oh, don't tell me I have to untack the horse. Oh, I have to do more show jumping. Oh, please. Okay, you know what? This is the problem. Is like, I don't care that much. So, like, I'll just dump this horse here and I'll just, like, give it affection just to tick the boxes, you know? Like, I feel like I'm not taking it seriously because the game is not giving me a reason to take it seriously. One thing I wanted to say is, like, at the beginning of this game, it's like, oh, you just bought your new property. I would, like, if I was to give them consulting advice, I would say either have it so that you aren't the owner of the property yet, but you're working towards being the owner of the property, because that's a goal, or that you receive this property, but you're trying to either expand it or, I mean, obviously it's very cliche to do the whole, like, oh, abandoned ranch and you have to fix it up. But you know what? It is still a legitimate, like, objective to have, but just something where it's like, at this point my character has it all. She has a house, she has a horse property, she has a horse. I mean, other than cosmetics, why do I care about earning money? Obviously, as of yet, I've not really seen any competitions at all, but it's like, even if there was competitions, why would I care? What would that really do for me, other than, because, like, as I said, like, we already have everything we want. Our objective is done. And at this point, as I said before, I'm just doing a task list because it's telling me to do a task list. There's no reason for me to really be invested in the game because like, my character has everything she wants. If it was working towards my first horse, or, you know, even if it was like, take for example, this is the riding stables that you start at. You get to ride different horses. They have different personality, different stats. Also, they cost different amounts of money. Maybe some come up for sale, some leave the yard, whatever it is. So you have to, like, earn enough money so when your dream horse comes along, you can buy it and then train it and work with it or whatever. At this point as well, the training, obviously I haven't done any training with my horse because I haven't had the option to. So it's sort of like, what is the point of training my horse if it's just already decent to ride anyway? Let me just complete these. Also, having the give up button next to the complete is just a terrible design choice. Let's see. So we've got to visit the town. That's quite interesting. Not a lot of games have, like, a town visit. But again, no idea where I'm supposed to go to leave this place. Genuinely not a clue. It says head to the gate on your property, but I'm not at my property. And I don't know how to get back to my property. Do you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't flow. It doesn't allow me to feel like, again, look, there is a fine line between hand-holding and allowing players to discover things for themselves, okay? And I'm a firm believer in allowing for that exploration, for allowing players to feel like they can discover things by themselves and they can figure it out. However, if you have zero direction, zero hints as to where you should be going, and you just and again, this isn't an open world map. Like, if I go down this road, I don't know where I'm going. Is my property down there? I don't know. I'm just running in this direction now because it hasn't given me any sort of idea how to get back to my ranch. Okay, so you just run in that direction. Again, no way that I could have known that without trying. But to aimlessly feel like I'm just in a world and I have to figure things out for myself and there's no sort of hints, that's just, it kind of kills my want for exploration because I just want to stick so close to the path because the path is hard enough to follow as it is. This town is really pretty though. I will say that. This town is very, very pretty. Locate the blacksmith workshop. Are we going to talk about farriers? That's fun. Ooh, the, like, textures and lighting in here is not great. It's made out of wood. Talk to Maggie. If it's made out of metal, you're in the right place. Quests. What quests do you have? Active quests. Locate Evelyn Hartman's horse shop. Okay, why did that just change on me without... Alright, that's fine. Anyway, moving on. I assume this is the shop. The design in here is interesting. See, this is what I mean. It kind of feels like there's just a bunch of asset packs. It just doesn't feel cohesive, as like this doesn't feel like a real place. It feels like they made assets for it, stuck it in, and then bought assets for the room or the building. Speak with Evelyn. Here we go. Oh, hey there, looking for something special for your horse? No, I'm looking for a purpose, actually. Again, you just sent me into a shop. I have no idea what I should be looking at. I don't really care to look at anything. So, there we go. No track quests. If I'm going into a shop, give me something to buy. Give me something to look for. Don't just send me into the shop and then say good day. This is also a terrible blockade. You clearly put a world border here and we're too lazy to actually rope it off. Like, you could have just had construction sign. This just feels so lazy as world design goes. Like, you could have put so much more effort in and you just hashtag did not. I'm gonna assume I go back this way to go back to my property, but then I'm sitting here and I'm like, why would I go back to my property? Maybe I'll check the mail. I can see the time is progressing. That's nice. Okay, explore multiplayer mode. I don't really want to do that. With the quest behind you, now's perfect time. Okay, so that's the entire game. In case you haven't realized yet, I'm not really a fan. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear if you have an opposing opinion. Again, it is a no judgment space. If you completely disagree with me, please feel free to say that. I'd love to hear why. I think in summary, this game could have been so much more, but they just focused on the wrong things. Why is there so much customization and no gameplay? There's no goal. If you're gonna go realistic graphics, at least give me some, like, there is a bow in the bottom corner, and I don't know how to use it. I don't even know how to pull it out. I would have loved to have shown that off in this video. I would have loved to have done more. Again, I'm just sort of wandering aimlessly. Look, I'm not saying scrap the entire game. I understand they're in too deep now, but like, somebody needed to come in at some point and playtest your game and tell you what was wrong with it. You can't just have team members play the game, and you can't just have community members play your game either, because a lot of community members are just gonna load up your game and they go, oh, that's cool. That's it, okay? That's all most people are gonna say, because one, they're not gonna spend hours of their time nitpicking and writing up documents and looking through every single piece of information. And bear in mind, a lot of, specifically people who play horse games, don't, like, horse games have not been held to a high standard. So some people will play this game and look at it and be like, wow, the graphics are amazing. And that's what they're looking at. And that's wonderful. You can have wonderful graphics. But if you don't have somebody come in and tell you, listen, the quests do not flow. Your gameplay is non-existent. There is no objective. There is no reason I am doing anything. What is the vibe of your game? Am I doing chill things? Is there any point in this game that I'm going to feel like invested in what I'm doing? Is there going to be a competition? Like, what is there to do? I am playing this game. It's also pitch black and I can't see anything and I don't know how to change that. So look, take from this video what you will. It is completely up to you if you decide to play this game, if you decide to buy this game. I personally can't really recommend it. For how long these devs have been working on this game, I really did expect something better. It kind of feels like 10 steps forward, 9 steps back sort of thing. I wanted to see a lot more progression in things. I like the small details, but the small details don't make any difference if your main game has no gameplay, has no purpose. So I'm sorry to be so harsh. Again, please don't take it personally, devs. I really respect the fact that you've been making a game, but I'm coming at you from more of a consultant point of view, and please consider this a free consultant session on the things that I would say about your game and the things that I would change. So as I said, I do offer horse game consultant services on my website, so check that out if you are interested. And also, if you're on my website, there's also a link to pinehavenponies.co.uk. It's under the shop section, so have a browse of our model horses if you love model horses. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay positive, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!